The following podcast is a part of RadioMisfits.com. And now it's time for the Mr. Nailsin Show. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. A British dancer was strangled by her boyfriend in a drug-fueled sex game gone wrong. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. Georgia Brooke, 26, died after being choked by 31-year-old Luke Cannon at his home in Bradford, West Yorkshire, after they both took GHB and cocaine. A police probe determined the couple had an experimental sexual relationship and that Brooke had a particular interest in choking. The couple's text messages, which were shown as evidence during an inquest, suggested Brooke had consented to such sexual practices with her boyfriend in the past. Coroner Martin Fleming, who ultimately concluded Brooke died of an unlawful killing, said there was no evidence Cannon intended to kill his girlfriend, but that he had used excessive force. The dancer was pronounced dead at a hospital in the early hours after going into cardiac arrest in the wake of the late-night romp. Her boyfriend called first responders and then accompanied Brooke to the hospital, but fled through a fire door before cops could speak to him. Police quickly launched a murder probe and began searching for Cannon, but his body was found hanged in a wooded area close to the hospital the following day. Brooke's family claimed that the dancer's behavior had changed when she started dating Cannon in 2021. Her mom, Samantha Beaumont, accused Cannon of being coercive and said he'd told her daughter what to wear. She also claimed her daughter's boyfriend was controlling and had told her where to sit when he came to the family Christmas celebrations. However, Cannon's brother, Joshua Cannon, told the court he genuinely cared for Brooke and was a generous person who would always do what he could to help people. Meanwhile, Brooke's death prompted the coroner to issue a strong message about the dangers of sexual choking. This type of sex act is dangerous and reckless, and it all too often ends in fatal consequences, said Fleming. Well, this does sound like it was probably an accident, but that's the thing about love and passion. Sometimes it just gets you all choked up. This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. Hey, you want some more Nailsin stuff? Well, who doesn't?
Well, sometimes I don't.
Well, no one cares what you think, Lefty.
That's not true.
Anyway, if you want some more Nailsin stuff, you head over to the Nailsin Ratings.
That's ratings. Ratings.
I know how to say it. You head over to the NailsinRatings.locals.com. There's all kind of extra goodies and Nailsin stuff there.
That's right, Red. There's all kind of artwork and all kind of audio stories that he posts there and stuff. And then links to his YouTube videos and those other nasty video platforms like right-wing places like Rumble, which you should never watch. You can just get it at YouTube, so don't even bother with that.
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, yeah, they need direction.
No, they don't. They'll decide for themselves.
Shut up. Damn it. But there's also, like his artwork and stuff. And then there's this poor man Mystery Science Theater treatment of old public domain movies of the sci-fi and horror genre. You can check that out.
Yeah, but you gotta be a super supporter then and subscribe. And you do that and you help out old Mr. Nailsin to bring you more stuff of his Nailsin, stuff.
Well, yeah, that's good enough, I guess.
You're damn right. So head over to NailsinRatings.locals.com.
Well, you almost lost it there.
Shut up, Lefty.
So anyway, there you go, folks. Head over to NailsinRatings.locals.com and get yourself some more Nailsin goodies.
This is a Nailsin News Bulletin. Man accused of sending "So I Raped You" message caught after 3-year search. I'm Mr. Nailsin. An American accused of sexually assaulting a Pennsylvania college student in 2013 and later sending her a Facebook message that said, "So I raped you," has been detained in France after a 3-year search. A prosecutor in Metz, France, confirmed that Ian Thomas Cleary, 31 of Saratoga, California, has been taken into custody and will be held pending extradition proceedings. Cleary had been the subject of an international search since authorities in Pennsylvania issued a 2021 felony warrant in the case weeks after an Associated Press story detailed the reluctance of local prosecutors to pursue campus sex crimes. The arrest warrant accuses Cleary of stalking an 18-year-old Gettysburg College student at a party, sneaking into her dorm, and sexually assaulting her while she texted friends for help. He was a 20-year-old Gettysburg student at the time, but did not return to campus. According to a French judicial official, Cleary was detained on the street in Metz in April as part of a police check. He told a magistrate that he had arrived in France 2 or 3 years ago from Albania and had only recently come to Metz, but did not have housing there. A French lawyer appointed to represent him did not immediately return a phone message seeking comment. Cleary, according to his online post, had previously spent time in France and also has ties to California and Maryland. His father is a tech executive in Silicon Valley, while his mother has lived in Baltimore. Neither he nor his parents have returned repeated phone calls and email messages left by the AP. The Gettysburg accuser, Shannon Keeler, had a rape exam done the same day she was assaulted in 2013. She gathered witnesses and evidence and spent years urging officials to file charges. She went to authorities again in 2021 after discovering the Facebook messages that seemed to come from Cleary's account. "So I raped you," the sender had written in a string of messages. "I'll never do it to anyone ever again. I need to hear your voice. I'll pray for you." According to the June 2021 warrant, police verified that the Facebook account used to send the messages belonged to Ian Cleary. The AP does not typically name people who say they are sexual assault victims without their permission, which Keeler has granted. After leaving Gettysburg, Cleary earned undergraduate and graduate degrees from Santa Clara University near his family home in California, worked for Tesla, then moved to France for several years, according to his website, which describes his self-published medieval fiction. Keeler, originally from Morristown, New Jersey, stayed on to graduate from Gettysburg and help lead the women's lacrosse team to a national title. By 2023, 2 years after the warrant was filed, Keeler and her lawyers wondered how he was avoiding capture in the age of digital tracking. The U.S. Marshals Service thought he was likely overseas and on the move, even as he was the subject of an Interpol alert called a red notice. Across the U.S., very few campus rapes are prosecuted, both because victims fear going to police and prosecutors hesitate to bring cases that can be hard to win. Keeler, when the warrant was issued, said she was grateful, but knew it only happened because I went public with my story, which no survivor should have to do in order to obtain justice. Well, she does have a point because she did everything right. She immediately reported the crime. She had evidence collected and whatnot. She wasn't saying this months or years later or any of that sort of thing. And nobody did anything. Was there not enough evidence or something like that? But then here's the guy in Facebook messages saying, "Yeah, I did it, but I won't do it again." So unless there's some other element here as to why prosecutors would have thought this was a weak case and opted not to pursue it, it looks like it's pretty open and shut. So, they got some explaining to do. This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. It all began in Cityopolis within a high-rise loft converted into a fancy studio where popular model and influencer Zara Zillion was posing for a new series of booty shots.
There you go, girl. Ooh, yeah. Oh, you know how to work that booty. Damn, girl. Oh, yeah. You're so sexy. You might even turn me, girl. Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good.
Damn it, Ralph. If you could just wrap up your tongue off the floor and put it back in your mouth, maybe you could back off out of the light and stop ruining the shot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was just getting in close because I figured it was time to, spray her ass so you can get that glisten effect.
Well, Ralph, if I really needed someone to spray her ass, I'm sure I could count on you. But as it happens, Zara's done worked up quite a sweat that she's glistening all on her own.
Oh, really? Oh, well.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a shiny hiney. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, Miss Zillion.
Ooh, what the hell?
Who said that?
I don't know, girl. Suddenly, a burst of light appears in the middle of the studio, followed by an eerie cloud of smoke, within which materializes 3 semi-nude, strangely garbed women. 2 on either side of the third with blue hair, whilst the third has green hair. Who are you?
We are the Cosmic Coven, and we have come for Zara Zillion. What do you want with me? We are to take you away to learn the ways of the Cosmic Coven, because we find that you are the prime specimen with your oh-so ample, glorious glutes to become the Moon Mage.
Oh,
the Moon Mage.
Bitch, you think you're gonna crash into my studio and kidnap my model? Oh, no, you didn't. Ralph, call 911.
Okay, but what's the number to 911 again?
Oh, God damn it.
Silence, you men! The hypnotic power of our stellar areolas should soon subdue you.
Suddenly, the 3 strange women bare their breasts and thrust them forward, the areolas of which begin to glow with a penetrating light.
Whoa, pretty titties. Must obey titties. Must
What the
obey
hell?
Titties.
Bitches, if you
Must
think
obey
some fancy
titties.
dancy,
Must
I don't
obey
know, titty
titties.
light show is
Must
gonna
obey
fool me,
titties.
you got another thing coming.
Must obey
So
titties.
I guess good help is
Must
hard to
obey
find, so I'm
titties.
gonna have to call
Must
911
obey
myself.
titties.
Now, where the hell
Must
my phone?
obey titties.
Incredible, sisters. It
Must
appears the
obey
photographer
titties.
is immune to our
Must obey
feminine hypnosis.
titties.
We must use the
obey
other one
titties.
against him.
Must obey.
What the
titties.
hell? Damn,
Must
Ralph, what you
obey
doing?
titties.
Oh,
Must obey
Oh my God, Ralph, stop it! Never mind them, Zara, for they are only men. For you now belong body and soul to the Cosmic Coven.
Must obey titties.
Oh no! What's to become of glorious gluten influencer Zara Zillion? And just who are the Cosmic Coven? Perhaps these and other questions will be answered in the next exciting episode of Moon! The Mr. Nailsin Show is brought to you by me, Night Night. Head over to IndiePlanet.com to get your copy of the Night Night comic book so that you can actually see me in action in my one-man war on crime. Shut up, Boo! God damn it! I do the announcements. Oh, God. No one gives a crap about Boo!
I'm for 18. Tell him about
no, shut up.
false advertising. Yeah,
Stupid idiot.
I help Night Night fight crime, and we blow stuff up
damn it.
and do a lot of damage. Hey, of course, people get mad at us when we do, but...
Well, it's a war on crime, and in every war there's collateral damage.
I mean, well, I guess it isn't one-man war, because
Exactly.
it's a two-man war.
Anyway, we're running out of time. Don't miss this opportunity to get your hands on the adventures of Night.
And Boobo.
The Night comic book available at indieplanet.com.
And now it's time for the Bayou Crime Report.
Beloved alligator in Louisiana shot and killed by authorities. Hey, I'm Red Neckerton. So, this beloved alligator in Vinton, Louisiana was shot and killed by the authorities in the area, and now many are mourning the loss of Marty the Gator. Several posts on social media reported the death of the huge alligator at the Delta Downs horse racing track, and now some are asking, why was Marty killed? Marty was well known by those who visited the Louisiana casino and racetrack, as it called a nearby pond home. Occasionally, the huge alligator would make its way onto the track to enjoy a break from its habitat, and at times even delayed races on the track. Still, that didn't stop many from loving and adoring the massive-sized gator. According to various reports on social media, Marty has been around the racetrack in Vinton for decades and will be missed by many who looked for him when they visited the grounds. As for why the alligator was shot, well, it appears that authorities were called to the casino after a recent storm and Marty was seen in a parking lot. It was then that the famous alligator was gunned down. Man, there better be more to this story than just this, because otherwise, why did this have to happen? I mean, come on, there was a storm, the gator probably got confused. I mean, they said he'd been there, living there for decades. He's probably, getting into senility and all that, and got a little lost, didn't know where he was. When all he wanted to do was hang out in his pond and then occasionally go watch the horse race. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But, well, I don't know, I guess, the meat was put to good use. You can make all kinds of stuff out of gator meat. And, of course, the hide, luggage and boots and stuff. So, there's something there. But it's just a damn shame, because the racetrack just won't be the same without Marty the Gator. Rest in peace, Marty. You will be missed. For the Bayou Crime Report, I am Red Neckerton, reminding you, keep the goddamn holes clean.
The Bayou Crime Report is a presentation of Nailsin Productions. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin.
Trans vampire, quote-unquote, woman sexually assaulted teen and is charged in the death of a disabled man. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. A transgender woman who identifies as a vampire has been convicted of sexually assaulting a developmentally disabled girl while already under investigation for allegedly strangling a man. Adam Hetke, 35, who goes by the name Sabrina, was convicted in Wisconsin of first-degree sexual assault by threatening the use of a dangerous weapon and second-degree assault of a mentally ill victim. Hetke is already a convicted sex offender, surprise, surprise, and under investigation for a homicide, with charges only filed since the disturbed attacker was busted for the sexual assault. Hetke met its latest known victim, a 16-year-old girl with cognitive disabilities, at a gas station in July 2021. Went to her home and sexually assaulted her while threatening to use a knife. The girl said Hetke told her that he was a vampire and that he would bite her if she didn't do what he wanted. Hetke was wearing a one-piece swimsuit under its clothes and carrying a knife when approached by police. The convicted sex offender, who was released from prison in November 2020, also faces charges of an open homicide case in Milwaukee. It was arrested on a tentative charge of first-degree intentional homicide in the April 2021 death of Vidal Thompson Moody, a 28-year-old man who had a cognitive disability. Boy, you're seeing a pattern here. The victim was strangled with a cord inside a home in the Concordia neighborhood on Milwaukee's west side. Hetke told Milwaukee police that the young man was possessed by a demon and began stabbing himself in the chest with tongs. Hetke said he managed to exorcise the demon, but that the demon caused Thompson Moody to wrap a cord around his own neck and pull the ends. One witness said he was scared of Hetke, who also went by the name Morgan, and claimed he would inject demons into people's bodies. Hetke told the witness he would place a demon inside the victim and kill him because he disrespected him. Then allegedly admitted to another witness that he killed him. I killed him. God can't bring him back, but I can because I'm the devil, Hetke allegedly said. The suspect was arrested within 24 hours of the crime, but was soon released with no charges formally filed. Thompson Moody's mother, Serena Thompson, was told the witnesses weren't cooperating with authorities, so she began making phone calls and reaching out to them on social media. Vidal would have wanted me to be persistent, she said. I will never give up on him. Being that they let this person go and commit another crime, it hurt. It could have been prevented. When cops arrived at the Westwell Street home, they found Thompson Moody on the floor with a 15-foot electrical cord under him and marks on his neck and forehead. After a week in jail, Hetke was discharged by the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office on administrative release, a designation that typically means prosecutors aren't yet prepared to file charges. All the witnesses eventually told police that after being released from jail, Hetke returned home and admitted to killing Thompson Moody intentionally. But it took 2 months for prosecutors to pursue charges. Milwaukee County Chief Deputy District Attorney Kent Lovern said that it was important for them to receive additional information related to the investigation before issuing criminal charges. So in conclusion, a man who identifies as a woman that identifies as a vampire said that demons killed this mentally disabled man. And the prosecutor said, well, we don't really have anything, so they let him go. The only witnesses, and I suppose they would chalk that up as hearsay, so they let him go so he could rape a mentally disabled girl. Oh, and by the way, the pronoun protocols should absolutely never apply to convicted sex offenders.
This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin. The views and opinions expressed during the Mr. Nailsin Show do not necessarily reflect those held by RadioMisfits.com. So, any complaints and or comments should be sent to @Mr. Nailsin on Twitter, where they will be promptly ignored and or blocked. This is a Nailsin News Bulletin.
Trans woman ran over man with car twice before getting on top of him, kissing him, and stabbing him 9 times. Hello, I'm Mr. Nailsin. Karen Fisher is accused of hitting Steven Anderson with her car and then stabbing him several times. A horrifying video shows a woman allegedly striking a man with her speeding car in Texas before backing up and running over him again. After neighbors came out to aid the man, she allegedly returned, flipped over his body, straddled him, and kissed him, before stabbing him 9 times. The victim, Stephen Anderson, died on the scene, and the suspect, 20-year-old Karen Fisher, is facing a murder charge. The incident occurred shortly before 8 p.m. May 3rd on the 7,000 block of Woodridge Square Drive in Houston. It apparently all began with Anderson reportedly walking to get his mail. He then turns around when he hears a screeching vehicle driving toward him. He tries to get away but cannot, and is struck by the vehicle. Then the vehicle stops a few feet from Anderson's body before reversing and again hitting him before driving away. Neighbors called 911 and tried to come to Anderson's aid. One neighbor brought a pillow to lift up his head. But then Fisher returned on foot, stands over Anderson's body, and lowers herself to straddle him before kissing him, slitting his throat and stabbing him 9 times. Then he walked away. And by he, I mean her. It is not known whether Anderson or Fisher knew each other. Witnesses gave officers information about Fisher's whereabouts, and police took it into custody. It allegedly assaulted a staff member at a local hospital. The incident left neighbors stunned.
It's very disturbing. I have kids here. They could have been out here playing. Imagine that.
One neighbor said. Records show Fisher was on community supervision for 5 years for evading arrest in 2023. Records also show Fisher was charged with prostitution in 2021. But the case was later dismissed. It was also charged with assaulting a staff member at the hospital on the same day as the murder. Well, what a truly horrific and wild scene, and one can only conclude that mental illness is at the root of all of this. If only there had been, I don't know, some clue to a possible mental disorder in order to address it.
This has been a Nailsin News Bulletin.